Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24. I'm Alan.
I'm tired.
I'm tired as well.
I'm incredibly tired. As you can see, obviously we are back from UKGE. We're recording this on the Monday night, so the day after. So we have managed to sleep a little bit since the weekend, but it was a very busy one. I think we walked over about 21 miles across the 4 days. So
yeah, it felt like it on my bottom of my feet at the end of the Sunday night. It was long, it was tiring, but it was really good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Worthwhile. It's a good tired to be. It's a tired where you know you've had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously down into the facts and the figures. So there was 52,000 visitors over the weekend, 32,000 unique. So that seems to be about a 30% increase on last year and a 15% increase on the highest year that they've ever done. So it just shows how the show itself's growing. It's knocking on the doors of the likes of Gen Con. So we did say it's like the third biggest in the world, and now it's starting to knock on those doors to start being the size it is. And obviously it's got a lot of potential to grow in the NEC. Yeah. There's a lot of halls out there. Yeah,
there's some extra space behind the boundaries at the end they could have grown into, even in the same hall.
It seems when we go back, there's another little bit of area taken and another bit, and they're moving back and back and back, and another hall gets opened. So it's only gonna get bigger.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel busy. It was busy on the Saturday, particularly.
Yeah. One of the things we said in our preview was the pinch points of the stairs from Hall 1 and 2, and that was exactly the same. And they had a couple of big retailers at the top, and it just became trying to push through.
So generally, it's pretty good for accessibility if you're in a wheelchair or with mobility issues. If you are planning on going next time, I would recommend coming on the Sunday because there's a lot less busy there. Or if you get open Friday morning. I think before 10 o'clock, before 10:30, it's pretty big.
Yeah, just be aware. It was busy. I actually walked out and went up the outside at one point because it was just going to be so much quicker than trying to get through there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bit on the Saturday where I think a lot of people have sort of had their moan, their whinge about how busy it was on the Saturday. It has to come with part and parcel of these things. They are massive. It is growing, and actually, it can't grow unless more people are going.
That's true. I heard somebody on Sunday moaning it was too busy, and they obviously weren't there on the Saturday. It sounds a bit churlish to say, "Oh, it was really busy," and it was, but. It was fantastic.
It was great
atmosphere.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, there are the odd occasion where somebody will knock into you or bump into you, and we apologise because we're obviously carrying the camera and the camera bag around. So we're quite conscious of that and trying not to take up too much space. But you've got people with board game bags, and they're not small. Yeah. Board games are not small things to be carrying around, even in carrier bags and such. So it's always a bit difficult. And when we've got that pinch point in between Hall 1 and Hall 2, getting up it can be quite difficult. Obviously, the elephant in the room was the bring and buy. There was massive queues for that on the Thursday night.
I think we had some friends of ours, and they were queuing for 2 hours on the
that was on the Thursday,
wasn't it?
Yeah. I think we just overestimated the volume that was going to be in there. I think that it is a bring and buy. It's a massive event. You've got 32,000 unique people going to the event.
Took one game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just everybody that was going into it wasn't just taking one game. There's lots.
There was something about the trolleys, weren't there?
It'll be taking Century Spice Road if
But it was just a case that I think it was just everybody's just got that cull that they were going. We're getting back to a period of where we've got more and more people getting more comfortable going to these things again. So it's just clearing out the closet type thing. And I think there was a couple of technical issues over the weekend. Obviously, there are different posts about that, so I won't go into too much detail. But I know that the expo itself is trying to help out with those. But there is a good point that I did see to bear in mind that the bring and buy itself, it's sort of left at your own endeavour. It's just sort of a facilitated drop off, really. So we do recommend using the trade and chat group and also the UKGE buy and sell group. And I know Terence has set up now, so I recommend trying to do that through those channels. Probably because it's a bit easier. I mean, it's a bit more or less. It's more inconvenient because you've got to arrange them with individuals rather than just putting them in there. But I think I'd rather do that than queue for the bring and buy. But
talking of places to put games, the shop and drop was really useful. Quite reasonable cost.
£3 for a day.
£3 for the day. Get yourself a box, buy stuff, throw it in the box.
We kept going back and putting stuff in there, so it worked out really well. And it was like I bought the first two things I bought. Both the shops didn't have any bags, and one of them was the most heaviest thing in the world. It must weigh about 10 kilos. So it was like straight in the shop as well.
I mean, it probably did. Oh, well, actually, no, it probably might have actually because it was the Brooks, wasn't it? So, it was busy. There was the travel implications with the rail strike. So I think there's probably more people driving than there would have been normally. I know Benji, when he came up, he didn't struggle to get in, but he was delayed a little bit parking because just traffic.
Yeah.
But you arrived at roughly the same time, and you didn't really have any problems, did you?
No.
So it was just busier. It's going to be busier. There's more people.
Yeah,
there's probably more people driving than there was normally. So
yeah, that's probably the case. It's probably very much the case that everybody set off at the same time, arriving at the same time. Oh, we'll get there for
X time.
Yeah, X time.
Yeah. And I think next year, hopefully, we've not got rail strike issues. We've got good transport links, and there's no real problems. And actually, probably alleviates the travel issue. Does it then alleviate the busyness issue? No, but I think the convention can't grow without it just getting busier. You're going to get more people in a space. Whether the space then grows itself is probably a different matter, but we've got that. Facilities overall, though?
But this CNEC is purpose built for this kind of thing, isn't it? You know, there's plenty of loos, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of well, the one thing there wasn't is areas to sit down, because you see people propped up against the wall sitting around, and I think that was probably one of the areas where it was lacking was adequate seating for people.
Yeah, there's big tables around where the eating place were, but they were filled up quite quickly.
Yeah. I did see a few more chairs than I have seen in previous years, a few more areas for it.
Yeah.
But you do find yourself slipping into a demo just to have a sit down.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of that. We didn't have that luxury, unfortunately, but
no,
it's
roller skates next time. You push me round.
Yeah, I said I'm not getting Brian a trolley. I'm not pulling him around all day. But overall, it's fine. I think the only negative is accessibility to water fountains. I think there's not many in the.
There wasn't many in the halls. There was a few outside in the corridors, but they always had big queues.
Yeah. But look, it's part again. It comes back to there's more people. It's going to be using.
Think you own water. Make sure you got enough supplies for the day. Plan your visit. Basically.
Yeah, I mean they're minor points, but you know, we're quibbling over little bits for what was an absolutely fantastic weekend.
Yeah. There's lots of good choices for food.
Yeah, lovely. I think the food court was bigger this year, and the wagons and stuff. There was more. The pakora fish and chips with minty peas and curry sauce was to die for. Really nice, really nice.
Yeah. The only thing to say, obviously, with food and drink is you do pay a premium. Yeah, it is that
it's festival food prices.
Yeah, it is, and I think also shop around a little bit because not to name your shame, but we were looking at the Hilton takeaway coffee, and it was like £5 a coffee, and then I think as you walked around, you kind of found maybe you could get that for £3.50.
Yeah,
which is a little bit cheaper. But if you were drinking a lot of coffee, it definitely a bit cheaper. I mean, I did make the joke that my bottle of Pepsi was getting more expensive.
It was,
throughout the weekend.
Until you bought it, it was like 50p more expensive, wasn't it?
So just be mindful of where you're purchasing things from. So and like I say, bring water if you can, and bring some supplies if you can. That's always a good thing. Obviously, the hotels in the area were great. We stayed at the Hilton, me and Brian. John drove in for a couple of days. Benji drove in on the Saturday to help us out.
Did see some bemused wedding guests wandering around, wondering what the hell was going on, which was quite amusing.
Yeah, and we've always got to remember that these hotels have got other functions on as well. So it's not just us. As much as we bombard the place, it's not just us. So the hotels were great. Didn't really have any issues there. We visited the Ibis, which you'll see in one of our videos, and it will come up as one of our standout moments. And so there's more than one venue around if you want to go to a
more than one Ibis as well.
Yeah, more than one Ibis as we found
went
out.
to the wrong one first.
Yeah.
They're close together though, so it wasn't too much of an issue.
Yeah. So moving on to awards. Now, obviously, the awards are given out by the judges and also by the People's Choice Awards. The three that we want to sort of talk about are ones that we're going to be looking to cover on the channel. So Earth was winner. Was it our best strategy game?
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody was running for copies of that.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted a copy of that. There was a couple that buzzed over the weekend of a lot of games, and Earth was definitely one.
Earth people queued for After Us. They think they sold out their stock on Friday within 18 minutes and on Saturday within 20 minutes.
No, it was 6 minutes on the
Oh,
Saturday.
it's 6 minutes Saturday.
And,
So,
and they
yeah.
didn't have any copies on the Sunday.
So that was a hot item to get. We were lucky to get hold of
A copy of that.
of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there is a bit of a serendipitous moment for me for Earth. So Earth was selling out of copies every day. The queue for Earth was 40, 50 deep most of the time. And in the preview video, I always say, if you see a game that you want, a price that you want it, pick it up. I think the publisher was selling it for £40. I was just happened to be standing at Chaos Cards for picking up a copy of Hamlet, and they just happened to have a copy of Earth sitting right there. Nobody was bothered about it. I was like, I'll get that. It's £4 more expensive, but I didn't have to queue.
Yeah, and you have a copy.
And I have a copy.
Yeah.
And I think people did miss out on copies because they did sell out.
Alan's selling his for £4 more than it cost.
So I was really incredibly lucky for that, and that might just have been right place, right time to pick that up.
Again, following your own advice, if you see a game and you want it, just get it because it might not be there next time you see it.
Yeah, and there is obviously a bit here of don't pay over the odds. Now, I think most of the retailers are price marking at very similar points. I saw a copy of Furnace Interbellum. It wasn't a price that I wanted to pay for it, so I left it. But if it was the price I wanted to pay for it, I bought it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even bothered looking for it anywhere else. So, you've got those swings and the roundabouts. And obviously, the other two awards, Tiwanaku, Best Abstract, I think it is.
Yeah.
We obviously caught up with Sophie from Sit Down, so that'll be coming up on the channel. So we've got a copy of that, so we're going to be bringing that up. And Viking Raiders from Neil Wolf.
General card game.
Yeah. Which is a nice little sort of tableau building, a little bit of take that style game, which is going to be quite fun.
Mating each other.
Yeah, and we caught up with Morton.
Yeah,
we caught up with Morton from Neil Wolf Games, so that will also be coming up on the channel as well. So keep an eye out for that. The only other big queue, it's probably the biggest queue of the weekend.
The biggest queue of the weekend.
And we almost didn't get any coverage of it, and it would have been a shame if I didn't because of what it was and what we've covered on the channel previously. It was Lorcana. The Disney Lorcana by Ravensburger. Obviously, it's coming out August time into your local game stores. They were demoing the game. I think it's the first time it's been demoed in the UK.
Yeah.
But there was a queue round their booth constantly.
I think about 30-metre long queue for all of Friday, all of Saturday. It got a bit only 20 metres on Sunday, but it was still queuing at like 2:30 on Sunday. People trying to get into that demo.
Yeah, we were incredibly lucky. It was the first thing that we hit up Sunday because it was one of the last big things that we wanted to cover. And even then, we were probably 50 people deep.
Yeah.
And they had, I think, 20 seats at the tables, and obviously they were rotating them out. And then there was some people in front of us that wanted to sit and play together. So actually, we got quite lucky because they skipped them and went, okay, is there any more?
Talking to the host while you guys were getting a demo, she was saying that they had 3 tables. And then they pushed out the other demo tables they had at the back and put more tables in for Lorcana when they realised how popular it was.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be the hot property in the TCG market this year. I think we are probably going to face supply issues on it, which is going to be a problem. Obviously, there's going to be scalpers out there that people are going to have to deal with where people just want to play the game. No, so there will be a video coming up on that, and I'm probably going to put some commentary over the top of it, just to give my thoughts and opinions on what's going on, because there's a bit of a situation with how we were playing the game. Obviously, it's in a short demo. So, but for me here right now, it's a very interesting game. Having played Magic, having played Flesh and Blood, having played One Piece and Keyforge, it's got something a little different, but it is pulling off of some of the best of each of those things. So,
and it's Disney.
And it's Disney.
And you can sing.
And you can sing, yeah. So your characters, so you can get some action cards that sing, and your characters can sing them, which is great. I don't recommend necessarily singing the songs at the table.
No, I would. I'd sing the songs.
I'd make it one of the rules. If you don't sing, you don't get the power.
There is that. So that was one of the big sort of things. So I think this was the first year I've ever seen people queue like they did.
Yeah.
For games.
For games and cards.
Yeah, I've been to video game conferences before where you queue hours for demos and stuff. Yeah. But I've never experienced that in the tabletop world. No. And that was what was happening.
Yeah. But again, I think it speaks to the popularity and the IP of Disney, but also speaks to people just wanting to get out and demo games and just see what they're like. And all of the exhibitors that we went around, they had sign-up sheets, and they were all literally full of slots of people wanting to go back.
Ones we knew about, so I think it was Asmodee were bringing copies of Scythe Expeditions, and that got totally signed up. We were speaking to David Paverson Games, Distilled, and their prototype copy of Luthia was all booked up. And there were people that were just booking out tables left, right, and centre for a lot of games. So
and it works really well because people get to see the gameplay. It might change a little before it gets released, but people get their taste for it.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously we've touched on a load of exhibitors there. There was many more. There was like 500 exhibitors over the weekend, and I think there's a lot of ones that we back up with that we've caught up with before. So obviously Cogito, Ergo Meeple, we've caught up with Oink. We always catch up with Bright Eye. So Hachette. Yeah. So these are obviously the publishers we normally do catch up with, and some new ones. So it was. Yeah, there's going to be more out there. There are going to be a load of videos coming out over the next week or so once we've got them all edited, got them all ready and to go out, and we've gone through all the footage, so that we'll get those out. So they'll be coming up on this playlist. So we'll put the link for that in the description below as well.
An apology, because there are so many people and because we are such a small team, we cannot get round to everybody.
Yeah.
It's physically impossible. We probably did not stop, apart from food and comfort breaks, we did not stop all weekend.
We won't mention Brian's nap.
No,
we definitely won't mention that.
5 minutes.
Sitting eating a pasty and Brian's asleep at the table. But we did not. We absolutely did not stop all weekend, and it's a shame we can't get round to everybody. But in the same respect, if you want to talk to us, please just say, come and approach us. We're happy to have a conversation, so please do. We're not approachable people.
No. There's going to be a few people there that we're going to go back to over the year and try and catch up with them separately. If there's people that you recognise that you would like us to talk to in the future, drop that in a comment below, or just get in touch with us to say, look, this would be good for you to cover. Because we want to drive this. We were actually discussing that a lot of the people that we talk to are people that we've engaged with in the past, or people that we might be interested in their games, which is great because we're going to be passionate about what we're showing. But
a lot of it's following up stuff we talked to about before as well, like Cogito Meeple with Luddite. They bought that demo. Look at that. It goes on Kickstarter on July 11th. So it's good to see them. But we are trying to get around as many different people as we can. Because everyone's got different sort of.
We reckon tastes. We've got about a fifth of all exhibitors covered. And like John said, we didn't really stop. We were going around and we were trying to talk to as many people as we physically could. To the point where we got kicked out of the press preview event because we were still filming.
Yes.
And we were almost still recording at 4:00 on Sunday. Actually, no, we were. We were. So we were literally packing the camera up as people were leaving the hall. So, so we did go for it as much as we could. But like I say, if there's anybody there that you would like us to talk to, or if you are a publisher or a developer or anybody that would like to talk to us in the future, just get in touch with us. So that would be great.
Games played?
We didn't play much. That's the negative.
That's a negative. But again, it's not like Aircon where it's about the playing. This is it's kind of a business thing, isn't it? And you could see people having meetings in some of the coffee areas. They're doing those deals and making those connections, and that's what it's about. It's business.
So what we did get to play, so we got to play Kapow in the evening. So there will be a video coming up from Rob from Wise Wizards with that, just an overview. But me and Brian did crack out the copy of that and got that to say, which we quite enjoyed.
Yeah, it was good.
We've got both Volume 1 and Volume 2, so we'll probably get a wood play again of that up at some point in the future. We tried out Phantom Inc. with all of John's mates from Devon, Torquay area.
That was fun.
That was quite amusing. So that was quite amusing doing that. And then we'll get onto some more standouts at the end, but this one was probably the standout for us.
That was
So we got to trial Imperial Miners from Portal Games. We actually got demoed that by Ignacy himself, so that was great to do that, and that was in the Ibis, which was where we were.
Lovely bloke.
Very nice.
A brilliant game.
It's a great game.
So we've got a bit of an overview of that coming up on the channel as well, and that I believe he was looking for Essen sort of time.
Yeah.
So
you said you weren't going to buy anything this year, Alan. How did that go for you?
I slipped and fell on my credit card. Yeah, I mean, we are incredibly fortunate. We were provided a number of demo copies and review copies of some games that we're going to be picking up and bringing to the channel, we're going to be really grateful for that, and we will obviously shout out those publishers when we get to that. So thank you to anybody that has provided stuff for us. But there were a number of games that I was still wanted for my collection. There was a couple of gifts in there as well for people that I was getting for them. But yeah, so I picked up the second volume of Kapow, Earth, Flamecraft, After Us. There was Hamlet. Just a number of games that I had been catching my eye, and I didn't realise I wanted until it was too late, and they were already in my bag.
Yeah. We were going to put them on the table, but you wouldn't be able to see us.
And it might have broken the table with the weight of some of them.
So we've got Everyday Heroes, like yourself, role-playing game.
That looks really good. I'm really
exciting.
looking forward to getting that and playing that. That does look good. Just the idea of role-playing Escape to New York just hit me. Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Bought some Button Shy games. Picked up Arceus Society, Black Hole Buccaneers. Amongst other things.
Yeah, so obviously, hopefully, we're going to now try and work out some time to play those to get them reviewed and put through the play again treatment.
Not a problem to have.
Yes, it's a very nice problem to have. So obviously, we've cut through there with some of the things that were a bit negative, but the standouts for us, I think we've all pretty much agreed that meeting so much of the community was great. And actually getting a chance to meet some publishers that we've never met before, wouldn't have met unless it was at this environment. AJ Portofino from Van Ryder, the guys from Button Shy, Ian Dave from Evil Genius, all these people that we probably wouldn't have got to talk to and had some really good conversations.
Yeah, starting that is again, it's the start of those conversations that we'll carry on having and just develop that relationship and get to know them better and their products, and and that's what we bring to you.
And that's what we can do. And obviously catching up with people like Toby from Oink that we always do, like Joe Maddie from Cogito that we always do. The only one of our regulars we didn't catch up was with Bez, because Bez was so busy the whole weekend. I think.
Yeah, the Bez table was always busy.
It was 2 people deep all weekend.
Check it out.
So the one thing that obviously was another big standout was the number of international attendees, not only just from people attending the show, but exhibitors. So I mentioned Van Ryder already. It was their first year. Button Shy, it was their first year. Wise Wizards.
Evil Genius, their first year.
Yeah, so you got a lot of these people that are now...
There was a lot of... there was Taiwanese, Japanese exhibitors as well. And that's where, for me, it's all going to grow. The people are going to come from overseas when they see the numbers. I mean, you could say there's still some big publishers that aren't there, but it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, and the fact that it's obviously got Birmingham International Airport right on its doorstep, it's almost perfect for that international travel as well, providing you're able to get links in. So, look, with all that said, would we go again?
Would go again.
Would go again.
Would go again now.
I would definitely go again. It's 4 days of hard work, but as I said at the beginning, it's fun, hard work. So we'd go 4 days again.
Yeah,
I might do a bit of exercise beforehand to prepare myself for it. But absolutely.
Yeah, Brian obviously unfortunately got short straw and had to stay with me for the whole 4 days, and I think he didn't know what was hit him after the Thursday night. But these guys were troopers and pulled through, and we did hopefully get some good content that we're going to be, like I say, putting out, hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next week or so, all going well with the edit. I have got some of it already in the bag, so we'll hopefully get some of that out. This will be the first thing that will go out on the channel, and then just stay tuned for more of that. So if you do like us, give us a like and a subscribe to catch up with all of that, and stay tuned to this playlist for more content from UKGE. We will catch you again next time. Take care.